These skin-based skis, or ski shoes as some call them, really have become the source of much joy for me over the past winter, and I'll tell you why. I frigging hate snowshoeing, although I own 4 pairs of them, but I hate them. I'm very much a believer in using the right tool for the job. So in that 0 to minus 12 Celsius degree range, I'm usually going to opt for classic skis or maybe ride my fat bike, depending on how firm conditions are on my local trail networks. But if it's too cold to glide, or if it's too soft to ride my bike, or I'm going to be breaking trail in fresh snow, then traditionally in this Canadian Shield or boreal forest setting, snowshoes are really your go-to tool for the job. But have snowshoes ever really been the right tool, or just a slightly better alternative to post-holing up to your waist in snow? I think it's the lack of a glide phase in a snowshoe stride that frustrates the lifelong skier in me. There just isn't that return on investment for all the energy you're spending. And sure, it might keep you on top of the snow where it's easier to walk, but you still got to shuffle along like a chump. Whereas skis, an arguably far more primitive tool, are so much more effective in using the properties of snow to help you conserve your energy. So these are the 147 centimeter KAR or KAR skin-based ski by the Finnish manufacturer OAC. I had a lot of trouble finding a pair of these. They were largely sold out across North America in January of this year. Ditto for the Black Diamond Glide Light, their skin-based trekking ski. Very hard to find a pair of these anywhere. But in the 100 or so kilometers I've put on these trekking skis since, there have been some pros and cons I've noticed, but certainly far more pros than cons. Let's start with the cons because they are few in number and they're mostly me worrying about things that have yet to pass. The price. At nearly $600 bindings installed, these aren't going to be for everybody. And that sucks because I could see them as a real solution for the dog walkers and winter hikers who've discovered the joys of hiking on groomed winter fat bike trails but tend to destroy them. But at their current price point, they're going to remain on the fringes until somebody produces a cheapo version for Walmart. I also wouldn't mind having a second pair of these skin-based skis to take friends out or to really check out the strengths of the other models, such as the 129s. Another nagging insecurity with these is finding the right boot combo to offer some better edging for the downhill parts of my skis. The comfort and convenience of using hiking boots in these bindings is frequently offset by the terror of finding yourself skiing downhill in hiking boots. And what good are metal edges if you don't have the support around your feet to put the ski on edge? I'm a fairly good alpine skier, and I ski down a lot of hills on Nordic gear as well. But these things can make you feel like an 8-year-old again, or like a wobbly newborn moose. As things speed up towards the end of the season, I'm always a bit worried about leaning back on a fast descent and ripping a binding right out of the ski. I've experimented a bit with some stiff shank backpacking boots, but you really need a boot that's both warm enough, bends well at the toe, while having a certain amount of torsional stiffness. And I just really haven't found that ideal combo just yet. In some above zero warmer conditions, I've had a bit of trouble with the skin base getting saturated and icing up toward the end of my ski. But I believe there's some products you can apply to the skin to help with that. I just haven't got there yet. So what's good about these trekking skis? Everything. They fit comfortably inside single track grooming, the kind of grooming done by, say, a snow dog or the width of a snow machine track, where snowshoes often don't fit well. And there's no damage to the trail surface, which is a growing problem as more diverse kinds of trail users discover groomed winter trails. Breaking trail is quite effective too. These skis are very light, and you're positioned farther back over the ski, which sort of sets them up to surface without a lot of struggle in soft snow as you pull them forward with your hip flexor muscles. The binding system has been completely perfect so far. No troubles whatsoever in probably 20 outings. Though it's important to take the time to set them up properly to make sure your toe is pivoting over the right spot on the binding. They also climb really well. There might be the odd place where you'll have to sidestep your way up something, but I find those moments quite rare on the trails that I'm operating on, at least. As long as you have your weight centered over the ski, you can really get up anything to about, I'm guessing, about 25 degrees perhaps. And just having some glide, any at all, really elevates the fun factor for me and lets you push quite a bit farther than you would on snowshoes or on foot. And I just like that classic Nordic ski lunging stride with alpine poles. It kind of lets me pretend I'm ski touring again in the mountains, but on gear that's lighter, more accessible, and more appropriate to the smaller terrain of the Canadian Shield. So in my final estimation, these are fantastic. Save up your money and get yourself a pair.